Hey everyone, Dodge here for Team Chaos MTG. Last week, the Game Awards happened, and with them came a big announcement from Wizards of the Coast regarding Magic as an esport and the look of the pro scene moving into 2019. So let's go ahead and break that down real quick. Here we have the first part of the Lane Chase article from last Thursday. It says, competitive gaming has always been at the heart of Magic the Gathering. The pure joy of having fun with friends and across the table and discovering new ways to be clever together is entwined with the thrill of competition, whether around the cafeteria table, in your local friendly game store, or the finals of the Pro Tour. Now, I'm not going to read the whole article for you guys. I'll scroll through it and leave it up on screen, but there were some important bullet points that I wanted to go ahead and cover. One of those, the first of those, being that they have announced a $10 million total prize pool up for grabs in 2019 across, quote, digital and tabletop Magic. That key word there, digital, is very important because that means arena, not Magic the Gathering online. MitGo isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I don't expect that it is going to lose a whole lot of footing as a premier format for Magic. What does concern me is that over the course of this article, there was no mention of the mocks. The Magic Online Championship Series is a big deal. For a long time, it's kind of been looked at as an extra pro tour. Um, and the fact that they specifically reference Arena a bunch of times throughout this article and never bring up the mocks or Magic Online specifically, instead using the term digital, it's a bit concerning to me about what things are going to look like moving forward. The next thing here that's very important is there's going to be a new level of competitive play. That is the Magic Pro League, which is effectively what they're renaming the Pro Players Club. We'll cover a little bit more about that soon here, but the big deal is we're finally paying pros. Specifically, we're going to be offering 32 pros over the course of the next year. Two-part contracts, which come up to a combined $75,000 over the course of the year. These are going to be the top ranked players across paper and arena Magic. Um, this is an interesting workaround since we're getting rid of the Pro Players Club. We're not going to be seeing that going forward next year. Pro points will be frozen. This is a way for Wizards to pay the pros, but they're only paying so many. They're not paying everyone that is gold or everyone that is platinum. In fact, I want to say that currently there are around 40 platinum pros. So this route is going to cut back on the number of pros that are actually being paid via Wizards of the Coast. And to bring Arena into the fold, they're hosting a $1 million essentially Arena Pro Tour, a Mythic Championship, which is what Pro Tours are being renamed, at PAX East. That's pretty cool. There aren't too many specifics here. In fact, there's almost no specifics. But they do say that there are going to be challenger slots that will be available, alluding to them being available to the public. We'll have to see how people are going to get into that. Moving forward, talking about the Mythic Championships, talking about the MPL, the new Pro Club, the way that all of that is going to work. Paper Pro Tours are going to be, again, renamed Mythic Championships. Each one is getting a $500,000 prize purse, so that's good. And they're going to start paying out to every place for those events. That I find to be just another workaround for Wizards of how they're going to make sure that people are provided for, that there aren't people coming into their first Pro Tour, getting shafted, doing poorly, and then spending thousands of dollars to travel. Now, some of the more concerning issues come up in just a second here. 2 Pro Tours have been canceled. Pro Tours DFW and Pro Tour Sydney are gone. For real. For real. For real. For real. They're just canceling Pro Tours. Um, Again, gonna have the higher price payouts that pay out to every single place. Also, no more travel coverage for Pro Tours, which again, I feel like the fact that they're paying out to every competitor at the Pro Tour is their way of trying to make up for it. It's an okay move, not quite lateral, but it works. Depending what those payouts are for the lowest placing competitors, this might be an okay fix. Um, they're also temporarily going to be rescinding their what would be new policy of narrow regional qualifications, that being that if you are in Europe and you qualify for the next Pro Tour, you're not actually qualified for the next Pro Tour chronologically, you're qualified for the next Pro Tour in Europe, which thank God they canceled Sydney if that's the way they're going, because I can't imagine how that would possibly work. Whether, how are you going to qualify for a Pro Tour in Australia if you live basically anywhere else? And I mean, we all know common knowledge, Australia is not real anyway, so that's fine. It's okay that they're making that change. Let's see what's next. All right. More organizers. So this is a pretty interesting move. It seems as though the monopoly that Channel Fireball Events has over Grand Prix isn't coming to a close, but that there are going to be more third-party tournament organizers being brought in for major events. Now, Wizards kind of cut out Star City Games a couple of years ago. They quit offering Pro Tour invites at invitationals, things like that, and that seemed to be because or leading up to the fact that they were going to hand this exclusive GP contract to Channel Fireball Events. It makes sense that if they're going to have one company running their major events, that they don't want other companies running other major events under their official umbrella. Again, that this is something that's getting walked back. My expectation for it is that this is going to get walked back, uh, maybe to try to bring DreamHack into the fold. It would seem like that's the direction they would want to go. Um, I mean, it makes sense to me. We also have the World Championship coming up at the end of the year. There are going to be arena qualifications for the World Championships, and I really hope this doesn't turn into another BBD situation. For those who don't know, 2016 World Champ Brian Braun-Duin was qualified for the World Championship by being GP Master, I think is what they called it. Basically, he had the highest cumulative points out of Grand Prix for the year. That qualified him for the World Championship. A lot of people weren't happy about it. He won the World Championship and did not get invited back the next year to defend his title, which we're not going to get into that whole thing because it's just a whole thing. But it is problematic. It could be problematic moving forward. Really hoping to see some of the details get worked out for all of this and announced soon, because this doesn't affect a whole lot of people. The majority of Magic players are not professional players. The majority of players are casual players. They enjoy the game, they play with friends at their local game store, they don't go to Grand Prix or Magic Fest, they don't qualify for Pro Tours, but this is the face of the game for Wizards. So even if this doesn't affect you, it affects the game that you love to play. So we are losing a bunch of stuff next year also. No more Nationals, because there's also not going to be any more World Cup events. And if there's not going to be World Cup events, well, we need national teams for, right? Um, Also, again, no more Pro Club. Pro points are going to be frozen. All of that's going to transfer. Issa's not happy about it. You can hear her in the background. All of those things are going to effectively just stop about a quarter of the way through the year, and the MPL is going to have its own points ranking and its own uh, workarounds for all of this. And something that was a bit off-putting to me is that they reiterate that there will be chances for people who do well at these events to qualify for the next one. Why do you have to reassure to me and specify that there will be requalifications? That could be fallout from the earlier mentioned World Championship situation, or maybe they want to make sure that people know you're not going to have to qualify over and over again, because they're getting rid of the Pro Club, they're getting rid of the tier system there. So not sure, again, what the new point system or the qualification system will look like. We just know that we're getting a new one. And just, because everyone hates Chris Pikula, let's go ahead and get rid of the Hall of Fame. Let's shut that biz down. Let's start the new Hall of Fame. Let's not tell anyone how it works and assume that everyone's going to be happy. And of course, the most important part of this article, more so than anything else, is this ending couple of paragraphs, this outro, if you will, specifically the first paragraph here. I know you're eager to get more details. We are, especially on how you can get involved in the new program. Yeah. Over the next few months, we'll be having a regular cadence of communication to share specifics. That's a lot of words that don't mean a whole lot, but it'd be nice if you could set that tone. And as we move forward, we will be taking every opportunity to listen to feedback and adjust to making Magic Esports and competitive gaming the best it can possibly be. They're going to listen so that they can adjust. To me, that sounds like Wizards is holding the door open for themselves to walk back any of these changes that people don't like. We'll just undo it. We're going to say screw it. We're going to go back to the old system. We're going to rename GPs again. We're going to do whatever we want. We are making no promises. We're announcing all of this stuff. We're taking away all of these events. We're adding all these new kind of events. We're moving in new directions. We're expanding into digital. And none of it's promissory. So, don't get too excited about anything. It seems pretty normal for Wizards to me. So, I just hope everyone got something out of this. Hopefully that makes things a bit more grokkable. I know my dog's having a hard time with it. You can hear how frustrated she is. But let us know in the comments what you think. If there's anything you want to ask or have us deep dive on the next video, let me know. Send us an email, click some buttons, do some things. Just it takes no effort to click a like button. I'm just saying. And as always, I've been Dodge. You've been watching. Take it easy.